Hey guys, hey rock stars. It's the 22nd of January. We're 22 days into this brand new year. I hope that your resolution is sticking with you. If it's not, dust yourself off and jump back on the wagon. I do want to report that I am 22 days of sugar sober. Holler for that. Thank you very much. Tonight we have a real treat. JoAnna is with us, and I got a little sneak peek of her PowerPoint she sent me earlier today, and she's going to be talking to us about follow-up and how to follow up in your business and how to follow up with potential customers, and team members. And I'm really excited about it because this is something that it's just a staple. If you do not have this, you either know how to follow up or you do not. There's really no middle ground here. So grab your notepad, get ready for some good notes because she has some top secrets she's going to share with how she's found success and how she teaches her team. So JoAnna, take it away.
All right, thank you. So I'm super excited to be with you guys. So I don't know if you guys saw my post just about 10 minutes ago, but I wanted to start the Zoom off tonight by kind of centering us with some manifestation and some abundance because we're all here so we can grow our business and so we can be super successful. And I truly believe that the fortune and the success is in the follow-up. So I picked tonight 2 oils for you guys to use. Let's See and Wild Orange. If you don't have Let's See, because I know you can't buy it regularly, it was just a special, just use Wild Orange. So Let's See is the oil of manifestation and Wild Orange is the oil of abundance. So I like to just, use a drop of each and put them on my hands. Take some deep breaths and really just put myself in that mindset of I'm going to manifest what I want. I'm going to call abundance into my life. And I'm going to release all these fears that I have around abundance. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys. I prepared a presentation because believe it or not, I actually don't like public speaking, which is crazy because I public speak a lot. But okay, so here we go. So here's my presentation. Can you guys see that? Okay, awesome. So my name is JoAnna Sacco. I'm a diamond leader in doTERRA. I'm a mom of 4 kids, and I recently started a mindset mentoring group that I invite other entrepreneurs, especially network marketers, into to just help them kind of learn about what mindset issues block us in achieving success and achieving our goals. So one of the biggest things actually that I feel like holds people back is following up. So I was really excited when Kenzie asked me to do this presentation for you guys because this is something that I have done in my business. It took me a little over 4 years to get to diamond. I started building my business when I had my 3rd child, who was just about 2 or 3 months old. And then now I have a 4th. So I'm not one of those super high enrollers. I'm not very, what do you call it? I'm not extroverted. I'm actually an introvert. So I don't go out and meet a ton of people and enroll. But what I really feel like I've been able to master over the years, over the 5 years that I've been doing this business, is the follow-up piece. So I'm going to share with you guys some secrets and some tips, especially for people who are just getting started. So again, the fortune is in the follow-up. Success is in the follow-up. So you guys have all heard about, buckets versus pipelines, right? If you're just selling retail, if you're selling product, if you're just enrolling and not following up, what you're really doing is you have a buckets mindset. You're basically trading your time for money. You're not building that residual income that you have the opportunity to truly build with this business. So I want to go over some sales statistics with you guys. And sales, for a lot of us, is a really ugly word, right? We don't like to actually think that we're in sales because most of us go into this because we're so passionate about the oils. We've had some life-changing experiences. We love really helping people and sharing what we do. But that doesn't really build our business. So you guys are here because you want to build your business. So let's talk about sales and just get it out in the open. It's like the pink elephant in the room. And Joyce Day actually had a really awesome presentation maybe a year or two ago about how we really need to just acknowledge that, like, yes, that's what pays our bills, right? In terms of what we do is the sales that we bring in. It's not like, yes, we share the oils, we help, people get better, live their best life. But ultimately, like when we're doing this as a business, not just a hobby, we need to get good at the sales piece. So 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. Guys, that's crazy. That's like half of people. So you do the work, you get the oils out, you tell people about them, and then you never follow up. Oh my gosh, what a huge opportunity lost. 25% of salespeople make a second contact and then stop. 12% of salespeople only make 3 contacts and stop. Only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. That's like a really low statistics, right? So how many people are on this call? I can't even see right now because I'm sharing my screen. But there's quite a few of us on this call right now and quite a few people watching the replay. And only 10% of us, according to these statistics, will make more than 3 contacts. And I truly believe this is a mindset issue, which we'll get into a little bit more. But 2%, so here's the interesting part. 2% of sales are made on that first contact. 3% of sales, these are really small numbers, you guys, are made on the second contact. 5% of sales are made on the third contact. 10% of sales are made on the fourth contact. And then look at this huge jump. 80% are made on the 5th to 12th contact. So literally it takes people 5 to 12 actual contacts, follow-ups for them to enroll, to, get that kit, to really buy into the lifestyle, and to what we're telling them can really change their lives. So you guys, I'm here to tell you that if you want to succeed in here and you want to succeed in this business, you have to be one of the 10%. Are you guys ready to do that? Give me a thumbs up. Yep. All right. Awesome. So again, 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts, but 80% of those sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. So you have to be persistent and consistent. We heard an awesome presentation last week from Jen Yates, who's one of my diamond qualifiers. And, she talked about being consistent in her business. So you got it. If you have not watched that sizzle, definitely go back and listen to some of her tips on how she stays consistent in her business. Okay, so why do we have an epic advantage as doTERRA wellness advocates? Because you guys, if you don't know this, we have industry leading retention. This is right from the doTERRA website. I looked it up today. So doTERRA enjoys, I love how they put this, doTERRA enjoys a 68% retention rate compared to a direct selling industry average that's near 10%. So after joining doTERRA, 68% of all customers reorder, continue to share doTERRA products, or build a doTERRA business. Why? Why is that? Because we have awesome products and they're consumable and they work and they change lives. So as long as you do your part and you do that follow-up and you are that 10%, you're going to have 68% of everybody that you bring on ordering month after month. And this is where you go from having a buckets mindset to a pipeline mindset. And this is where residual income happens. This is where you start ranking up. This is where the magic happens, which we'll talk a little bit more about. Okay, so tip number 1, have a system of following up. So many people don't have a system. And there's a lot of systems out there right now that you can purchase and buy and learn from. And I think that's great. When I started 5 years ago, we didn't have anything like that. We basically were like, all right, we're going to just figure this out on our own. So it's really cool that there's all these training things. I will share with you what I do because I'm a little bit old fashioned, I guess. I started this way and I'm still doing it this way and it works for me. So one of the things is that I'm a huge believer of law of attraction. So you have to expect massive results for your business and be prepared for that. So even if you're just new and you're starting out, you might not be making a ton of contacts. So you might feel like you don't need to have, you know, like a spreadsheet or notepad or whatever else to follow up with these people if you're only talking to, you know, maybe a couple of people a month. But call that into your life. Like, prepare yourself as if you're going to have more contacts than you can handle, and be prepared for when that comes to you, because you don't know when that next kind of referral will come in. So a cool thing happened to me last month. I'm in a BNI, which is a business networking international group. And I had a guy refer his 87-year-old mother to me. His 87-year-old mother had 6 back surgeries and was scheduled to have her, she had 5 back surgeries and was scheduled to have her 6th back surgery in sometime in December. And he was like, you know, I've been listening to this girl in my BNI talk about these oils, blah, blah, blah. Why don't you try these oils? And she was like, are you serious? Like, I've had back surgeries and you think oils are going to help me? So he was like, I'm going to get you this blend. She's going to give it to you. You're going to use it and just see what happens. So she tried it, and you guys, she canceled her back surgery because she had such amazing results from this blend. So guess what now? This 87-year-old woman is telling everybody in her network about the oils and what they did for her. And they're like, oh my God, like, Jerry canceled her surgery. Are you kidding me? I need to know this woman. So all of a sudden, I had this influx of referrals coming to me and people wanting, you know, what is she using? How do I get this? How do I do this? Blah, 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 blah. It was overwhelming. And if I had not had my system of being able to like follow up and see who I talk to and have their numbers and in a spreadsheet and all this stuff, like, I probably would have dropped some balls. So what I do is Google Sheets. Are you guys familiar with Google Sheets? No? Okay, so I will show you how Google Sheets work. So Google Sheets basically work, it's like a cloud. So you can access them from your phone, your tablet, your computer, and it updates in real time, and you can also share it with people. I love this because you can access it from anywhere. So if you're out and about in the grocery store and you meet a contact, if you're out and about at a play group, if you're at Target shopping and you meet somebody who's like, oh, I have this killer headache, and you're like, well, you know, what about some peppermint? Now you can get their contact, you can put it in, you can have it right then and there. So you can easily add in details and notes to yourself. So I'm going to pause this and share my Google Sheet follow-up. So this is just a sample. I didn't want to have real life examples of my people in here. So basically what I do is I put their name in here in column A. It's like an Excel spreadsheet if you're familiar with that. It's really easy, and you can customize it to however you want to have it. Their number, their email, you know, I put their health issue down, like what is it that they're interested in. I put in when I last contacted them just so I don't lose track of when I talk to them, and then when to follow up, which we'll talk about how to figure out when to follow up with people. I also put where did we meet, because, you know, if you're doing your business consistently, you're going to be doing, you know, vendor events, you're going to be doing make and takes classes, Facebook Lives, like you're going to get referrals, all these different things. So you want to kind of have a reference point of where did you meet, and then put some details. This is where I put details about their life. So when I follow up with them, I can, you know, make small talk with them. So for example, you know, Amy over here, she has headaches, and we met at, she's a friend of my son's, she's a mom of my son's friend. We met at the playground. We were just talking about her headaches. So we talked about oils, and she has these debilitating headaches. And I just put whatever kind of details that I can have to follow up with her on. And then my action item. So my action item is dropping off, you know, the deep blue roller for $5 on Monday. And then date enrolled. So that way I know, okay, they enrolled on this day, so I don't, you know, have any more kind of action items in terms of that to go there. Does anybody have any questions about Google Sheets before I move on? And if you're not, you know, like tech savvy or computer savvy or smartphone savvy, you can do this in your notepad. Just have like a specific notebook or whatever to help you keep track of your contacts, and have these action items listed in there. So that way you make notes for yourself. Again, prepare yourself for massive results and massive abundance. Like, prepare yourself for so many people coming into your business that you can't just keep track of them in your head, that you actually have to have a system of following up with them. All right, here we go. back to this. Okay, so when to follow up? This is a question that I get a lot, and I feel like this is a big block for people. So people a lot of times will not follow up because they feel like they're bothering others, or they're being salesy, or they're being pushy, or they don't want to bother, like just bother them. Like I hear this a lot in my mindset mentoring stuff, is like, I don't want to bother people. They're busy. They don't want to hear from me. But honestly, like if people are talking to you about this stuff and they're sharing their health concerns, follow up with them. Like for example, with me, I appreciate when people follow up with me because I have 4 kids, I have a business, like I'm a busy mom. Sometimes I forget things, even if they're important to me, they fall off, my radar. And I love when people are like, hey, just checking back in with you. What do you think about this? Or do you want to try this or whatever else? Like I appreciate when people go that extra mile to really follow up with me, especially when it's close to when that is relevant in my head and emotionally when I'm connected to whatever it is that they are talking to me about. So why do you want to follow up? Because you want to make sure that they're using the product. So we're going to talk about samples and stuff like that in a little bit. Another reason is to prevent them from buying on Amazon. You guys, so many people, you tell them, oh yeah, peppermint's great for headaches, and then you never follow up. And then they're like, great, I'm going to go to Whole Foods and buy peppermint oil, or I'm going to go on Amazon and buy peppermint, or I'm going to go and, get peppermint extract at the grocery store. Who knows? Okay. And the other reason is why you want to follow up really soon is because a lot of people who are new to essential oils are going to go start talking to others. They're going to talk to their best friend, their dog walker, their, mother-in-law, whoever. And then they're going to, get the naysayers. They're going to get the people who are going to be like, oils are going to kill you. They will kill your pets. They will kill your children, your reputation. They will just putting all this toxic, crap in their brain. So you really want to follow up before any of that happens. So you really want to do it really quickly, like the next day, because while it's fresh in their heads, while they're excited, while they're emotionally connected to the hope that you just gave them, that you have a solution for one of their problems, it takes a lot for some people to open up and really be vulnerable with you. So honor that and honor that space that they gave you in their lives and follow through on what you say you're going to do. Okay, so when people say they're not sure when to follow up or how to connect. So here's some concrete examples, you guys. Simply ask them. This is magical. Just ask them. When can I check back in with you? And people will tell you, okay, well, I'm free on, this day and that day, or I'm not, I'm busy tomorrow, or I can't do the weekend. Just ask them for a concrete time when it's good to check in back in with them. You can also say things like, I have a great Facebook group. I can add you in there. We can ask about X, Y, and Z, or search to see what others have found that has worked for you. So I love doing this because now you get people into your group, and now they can not only see answers to their problems, and they're connecting with others. Because, honestly, people do have a little bit of skepticism when we're trying to sell them something. But now when they're in a group with other people who are who have no vested interest or financial interest in this stuff, and they're like, oh yeah, I had horrible headaches and this is what I tried and this worked for me, and you see 5 or 10 testimonials coming from other people, that's really powerful. So you can also say things like, I have a make and take on X, Y, and Z. Would you like me to invite you so you can learn more? I will be doing a Facebook Live about oils on X, Y, and Z. Do you want me to invite you? So this is important. Have things lined up to invite them to follow up with. Always have something, because people want to feel like they're part of a community and they want to connect with others. So have something on your books at all times, whether it is a Facebook Live, whether it is a group, whether it's a make and take, whatever it is, just have that ready. And then if they did come already to your, your Facebook Live, your class, your event, whatever else you're doing, ask them immediately, how did what you learned make you feel? So again, emotionally connect with people, because a lot of sales are made through that emotional connection and that hope that you're giving them that, you know, this is going to help you with this problem that you've had for however many years. So if they do come to these events, like follow up with them right away and ask them how it made them feel and what it possibly did for their business. I mean, for their personal life. Okay. So now we're going to talk a little bit about sampling. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I personally do. Sorry, my husband is traveling and my 2-year-old is down here. Okay, so I personally do not give samples. What I used to give samples, and what I found, hold on one second. I'm so sorry.
You're fine. You're totally fine. I don't care. We were talking about this a couple of days ago, and I too am on the bandwagon with the no samples. I think a lot of times what happens is we invest a lot in that cost of getting ready to get ready. And next thing you know, your investment's not coming back at you.
Exactly. I feel like I've given out in the beginning of my business so many samples, and I'd follow up the next day and they're just like, oh, sorry, I haven't had a chance to use it yet. And I'm just like, what do you mean? Because when people don't have any like kind of skin in the game, when they're not really, you know, invested in it financially, they might just like take it for granted. So that's why I don't do samples. I do sample people, I guess, but I do charge them something. And this isn't for my financial benefit. It's just a way to make sure that they're using what I gave them. And again, it's like, it's crazy to me that people want stuff for free. Like, you wouldn't go to CVS and ask for, you know, a sample of Tylenol or Advil. You wouldn't go to a salon and be like, hey, can you do my hair for free? And if I like it, then I'll, you know, buy your next service. Like, that's just not real life. So same thing with us. Like, we want to value ourselves and value our time and our products. We don't want to undervalue all of that. Just like you wouldn't in any other part of business. So you do want to charge something. So for me, like, I'll give samples, you know, like if they have headaches, for example, since we're talking about that, like make them a roller, like a 5 milliliter roller, but charge them $5 because they're more likely to use that $5 roller than they are using a free roller. And I cater samples to their specific needs. Like, I will, you know, if somebody has something that's chronic and really like ongoing and something that I'm not sure if the sample is really going to help them, because we all know that there's things out there that like the oils might not necessarily help right away. We might have to go through a different, you know, a few different oils or a few different blends or combinations that might help them. Like, sleep to me is really a challenging one because there's cedarwood and there's frankincense and there's vetiver and there's serenity and there's like a million different things, and you just don't know what's going to work for somebody. So I never ever sample anybody for sleep, because if I give them something and it doesn't work, they're automatically now a skeptic. They're like, oh, I tried some oils for sleep and it didn't work for me. Boom, like done. So if I'm not sure like what they want, or if they want something that I don't think that a sample would really help them right away, like I want to just get them believing in the oils, right? So I will stick to peppermint, digestin, and deep blue rub, because those you can feel an immediate benefit from, right? You try a little bit of peppermint, you smell it, it clears up your sinuses. You put it on your forehead, you put it on the back of your neck, like you feel that cooling effect. You have a stomach issue and you rub some digestin on your belly, like you feel that like warming sensation, you feel it actually doing something. Same thing with deep blue rub. So if you're going to be doing any kind of sampling and you're going to be charging for it, these are the three that I recommend you stick with, because again, they feel an immediate effect from, and they see the power of the oils working. So that's kind of what we're going for. Okay, so how to sell the wellness lifestyle. So listen to what their problem is. A lot of times we talk. We have verbal diarrhea, you guys, because we're so excited because we know all the things the oils can do, right? So if you're going to write anything down, right, no verbal diarrhea. Listen, open up your ears and really listen and ask questions about what else is going on. to see how else you can help them, because we're really helping them to shift from their lifestyle now to a wellness lifestyle, to really treating the root cause, to really balancing their bodies. So the more information you can get out of what else is happening. Okay, so you have headaches. Well, how's your energy? How's your digestion? How's your sleep? How's your stress level? Like, how are all these other things? Do you have pain in your body? How are all these other things that most of us have at some point? Because then you're just kind of collecting more data for yourself to always, always, always offer that kit, because we know that that kit is going to serve them the best in the long run, right? Like, we know that if somebody just buys 1 or 2 oils, they're not really buying into that wellness lifestyle. But if they get a kit, now they have it and it's at their disposal and they invested in it. So now when they have an ear infection, they might not think they needed Melaleuca, but you can be like, oh, you have an ear infection, just use some of your Melaleuca. Use some of your lemon for, draining the fluid. So you want to ask those questions so that way you can then show them the value of that kit. And follow up and show them how to use their kit for all of these problems. So that is why we're going to stop talking. We're going to listen. We're going to ask questions and see what's going on. Give them a kit, which is going to bring them into that wellness lifestyle. And then we're going to teach them how to use that kit for everything. Okay, so if you had a class, a lot of people teach, classes, make and takes. Awesome. Like, this is a big chunk of the business, is getting people to your events, getting people to your lives. They've enrolled. Congratulations. Like, this is huge that you were able to enroll somebody. You did the hard work. You got them to believe in you as the person that they are choosing to trust to, show them how to use these oils, and trust that these oils are going to help their health concerns. Don't leave them hanging. Do not leave them hanging, you guys. This is like one of my number one pet peeves, is when I talk to people and they're like, oh yeah, I bought a kit. I never heard back from the person who I got it from. And now it's just been like sitting on my shelf for 6 months collecting dust. And I'm just like, oh my God, our precious oils are sitting on a shelf collecting dust. Like, this just kills me. So don't leave these people hanging. Schedule your lifestyle overviews for 10 days from the day that they enrolled. Here's why. So 10 days, you can pretty much guarantee that they've received their oils at that point. So they have them, they can open them, they can play with them, they can try them out. And then from a business perspective, you have 14 days to move people. So if you do your lifestyle overview correctly, you have a better idea of where to place them in your organization. So 14 days is all you really have to figure out where to put them. So you want to make sure that that lifestyle overview, which we're going to talk about, is done by then. Okay, so the goodie bag. So again, I don't give out samples for free. I invest in my members. So when people enroll with me, they get a goodie bag. Everybody gets a goodie bag. So in my goodie bag, what do I put in there? So there's lots of options. And again, everybody's at different points in their business. But just, even if you're just starting out, you're making, even if you just sell the family essential kit, you're making $22 fast start bonus. That fast start bonus should be reinvested back into your business and into your wholesale customer. So I always have the hair care samples, deep blue rub samples, toothpaste samples. I give them a couple of empty roller bottles so they can make roller bottles with the oils that they have from their kit. Breathe drops, On Guard drops, whatever you want, whatever you want to give them. And I have a signature blend. So we have a magic blend for our team that we put in there. And they love that magic blend. And I don't tell them what's in the magic blend. And it's not in their kit. So when they run out of the magic blend, which they're hooked on that, they're going to be like, what's in that magic blend? And then I tell them what's in the magic blend. And now that goes on their LRP for the next month because they can't live without the magic blend. And then the user book. So, those $1 Essential Life, like just they're like 5 inches by 5 inches books that you can get from Oil Life or Aroma Tools. Like, I put those in there as well. And it costs me, $2.40 to send this out. It probably costs maybe $5 to $6 to send this goodie bag out to people. but the return on that is immense. So the lifestyle overview. So I do all of my overviews on a Zoom, and here's why. So for me, with my size team, I have like 5,100 people in 9 countries in almost every state. Like, so I'm enrolling people in other states and other countries. Like, I can't sit down with them, right? And even local people to me are busy. Like, busy is huge in our society. People are busy, busy, busy. So now for them to cater out a little over an hour to like drive to a location or come to my house or whatever else, like that's cumbersome for them. But if I'm just like, hey, we're going to meet for 20 minutes over Zoom to go over this, you can do it, you know, in your pajamas at 8 o'clock at night after your kids go to bed. That's a lot easier for them to do. It's a lot less intimidating, and I get a lot more people showing up to those wellness lifestyle overviews. So you can call it a wellness consult, you can call it a lifestyle overview, however you want to do it. So I try really to keep it to 20 minutes. Some of them take longer, and again, it's going to be, you have to feel out the person. If they're like really like gung-ho and invested, you may spend an hour with that person over Zoom, which is great. But you want to always kind of just schedule it for 20 minutes in case somebody's like, okay, I'm still kind of like skeptical. I want to do this, but I don't have a lot of time. So that's fine. So this is, where the heck is my live guide? So these are these beautiful live guides. You can buy these for $20 or they're free on PDFs. They're awesome. So you can send them the free PDF 2 to 3 days before you schedule out your lifestyle consult. Now this is only for people who you enrolled already. And what I do is I ask them to go to page 16 and fill out their health priorities and have those ready for our follow-up. So that way we're not, you know, spending any more time during those precious 20 minutes that we have for them to like think about this. So here you go. That's what that looks like. And I'll share my screen about that when we go into a lifestyle overview. Okay, so this is where the magic really happens. So initially when you're talking to people, like I mentioned, we all have that tendency, you guys, the verbal diarrhea. We want to overwhelm them. We want to tell them everything. Don't do that. Don't do it, because you confuse people. You overwhelm people. When people are confused and overwhelmed, they can't make a decision. So chances of them even enrolling or like starting this is like significantly lowered. So just ensure them that, yeah, like these oils will have an impact. If you have them in person, like pass around some peppermint so they feel that cooling sensation. They feel their sinuses getting clear. They feel their headache lifting, whatever it is. But you don't have to give them every single, you know, answer to their problem before they even enroll. You want to just make sure that they know that you like these oils will, you know, be that answer, and you're going to show them how to use the oils once they invest and get the stuff. So the other reason for the wellness consult is because you want to show them everything else that doTERRA has to offer. You guys, we have so much more than just oils, and people don't know that because we really don't want to, again, overwhelm them with all these other products that we have. I mean, we have skincare and hair care and spa products and supplements, and which we're going to talk a lot about, and a community. Like, we have an amazing, awesome community of supportive people that are going to help them live their best life and feel their best. So this is where you want that magic to happen, is in that follow-up. So we are a wellness company, right? We're not just like here, we're going to, you know, sell you some oils and then leave you on your own. Show them how to cut those toxins out of their life. Show them how to replace items that they are already using with our products. So a lot of people who are, you know, open to oils are already, you know, going to Target and buying Mrs. Meyer's or Honest Company or whatever other products that are so overpriced and crazy because they want to live a more greener lifestyle. like show them how if they get our On Guard cleaner concentrate, they can make their own all-purpose spray for $1.40 versus buying, you know, half the size bottle at Target for $4.50. Show them how to save that money. Explain LRP, explain the points, how that all works, explain free product of the month and our awesome 200 freebie promos. Like that's stuff that I don't really spend a lot of time talking about in my lives or in my events or anything like that, because like that just goes over people's heads. They don't really care. I mean, I mention it, so it like plants a seed, but I don't spend a lot of time on it because again, people are just like, oh my God, are you going to get me on an auto ship? And I'm going to have to spend, you know, $700 every single month. And they get freaked out. So I don't talk about that until the wellness consult part. Lifelong Vitality Pack. You guys, if you take anything away from this today, Lifelong Vitality Pack, educate yourself on this product so you know it forward and backwards. So know your top 10 oils and know the Lifelong Vitality Pack. If you have someone in a rush on your wellness consult, spend the most time focusing here because it's our number one selling product for a reason. It changes lives. It's the foundation of health. It's where we see so many results. And from a business perspective, it's a recurring monthly or bi-monthly order, right? So if we're talking about that buckets versus pipeline and LRP being the foundation of our business, like it is the foundation of our health, like if you get people on that Lifelong Vitality Pack, you got residual income coming in every single month. And you have people who are feeling amazing. Like they're having more energy, they're having less pain, they're having better mood, they're having their, you know, blood draws are coming out better and they can't stop talking about it. So it's an amazing product. Comes with a 30-day money back guarantee. So people can't go wrong on it. So again, this should be your number one thing that you talk about during these follow-ups. Okay, so when first getting started with a lifestyle overview, ask your upline to do this with you. Watch the first one, co-teach the second one, and lead the third one. Kind of like a class, you know? So if you have if you have somebody that you enroll with that's teaching you how to do this business, make sure that they're helping you figure out how to teach, you know, your make and takes, your classes, your Facebook Lives, whatever, however you're building your business until you're confident. And then do the same for your downline. So you guys are all business people. You're going to be building a downline. So you want to be proficient at these because, again, they are the pipeline of your business. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to switch again to sharing my screen. How are we doing on time? I talk a lot. Sorry, guys. So I'm going to share my lifestyle overview. How many of you guys are familiar with this? All right, I see some hands. Awesome, awesome. So I'll be honest, there's a lot of information in here. And if I'm keeping it to 20 minutes, like if I'm like, okay, I don't have a person who's like super excited quite yet, like I have to pick and choose what I'm going to go through. Because this is a long book. It's got like 19 pages. You can't really do that in 20 minutes. So you kind of have to gauge that person, see what their priorities are. And this is why I start with page 16 and ask them to fill it out, because it helps me guide them in here to what's important to them. So the wellness consult part is on page, let's see, 16. So we're just going to quickly go to that. If you guys have the PDF or if you have your guide, just click over to page 16 so you can see what it looks like. So here it is. So, you know, if you sent this to them 2 to 3 days before your scheduled follow-up, they already filled this in. So what are their top health priorities for them and for their family? You know, a lot of times it's not just about them. They're doing this for their kids, for their grandkids, for their spouses, whoever it is. So make sure that they know what are their top health priorities for their family and just keep it to 3 because that's less overwhelming. And then the 90-day goals and then natural solutions you have or need. So that's what you're going to help guide them on. So that's where I kind of start with when I, you know, open up my 20-minute overview here. And then we go back. So let's go back here to page. Okay, so congratulations, blah, blah, blah. I don't really talk about that. Live a lifestyle live a wellness lifestyle. I talk a lot about that, about how, you know, with doTERRA, how it's changed my life. Give them a lot of examples specific to you and people you know. Concrete evidence is really, really good. So it's not just about, you know, oh, you have all these health issues, just put on an oil and you're going to be fine. Like, that's crazy. Now you're not credible, right? Because, you know, if people are eating McDonald's every single day and smoking cigarettes and drinking, you know, a 12-pack of beer and, you know, using Glade plugins, and they have these health problems, like a drop of peppermint's not really going to change their life. So your job is to really guide them in moving more towards this natural lifestyle. So I quickly kind of go over this pyramid and ask them to rate themselves in this area about eating right, exercising, managing stress, all this stuff. And then I talk about the Lifelong Vitality Pack. Here's where you introduce that and all of our amazing supplements. So Terrazyme, I talk about how that, you know, most of us, all of us probably are not eating the right diet. So we are not absorbing nutrients correctly. So everybody should be on Terrazyme. I just say that right off the bat. I'm like, everybody should be on Terrazyme because let's just face it, we eat the modern American diet. We're eating processed food sometimes. We're in a rush. Even if you're eating like, you know, all organic, really good food, a lot of those supplements aren't getting absorbed into our system. So Terrazyme is huge. PB Assist, that's a probiotic. I talk about the gut-brain connection and how that really is our second brain. That's really our immune system, and how that's really important. And then if they have kids, I mentioned the A to Z, you know, chewables and the IQ Mega. If they don't, I don't mention that. I don't really talk about this, to be honest. You can if you want. And again, this is going to be catered to your specific style. Exercise. So again, you want to just be mindful of who you're talking to and what their goals are. If they're not on a weight loss plan, you probably don't want to spend a lot of time talking about slim and sassy. So again, but if that's one of their main concerns, they're like, I can't lose weight. I've tried everything I can think of to lose weight. Like, talk a lot about slim and sassy and how that can help them. And then these daily wellness lifestyle habits. So I talk a lot about Mito2 Max because I have 4 kids. I'm freaking tired, you guys. I can't get through the day without Mito2 Max. Okay? I just can't. Like, it's 10 o'clock, 10:45. Like, if I did not take my Mito2 Max, I would not be here right now. The Deep Blue for your back, like for working out, for whatever it is. So again, cater this to who you're talking to. Rest and manage stress. Okay, pretty much everybody out there can benefit from better sleep and better stress management. So spend a lot of time talking about serenity and different solutions for sleep. And, you know, really hear them about what their issues are with sleep. Is it falling asleep? Is it staying asleep? And offer them, you know, something from their kit, as well as something that they can add to their LRP for the following month. Emotional balance. This is huge. Like, our emotional kit is amazing. It's a great LRP add-on to people because a lot of people have these issues. Like, they're dealing with, you know, not feeling motivated or feeling stressed out or dealing with grief or all these other issues. So definitely mention that. Whoops. And then your 30-day cleanse. I talk a lot about this. So figure out if you have a way to invite them into a 30-day cleanse group. So if you're not running these in your group, you should at least once a year, just to get people used to doing this 1 or 2 times a year, because now they're introduced to all these other amazing products that we have. And then natural self-care. Here's where, again, I feel like the magic happens, because these are the products that people use every day. Everybody brushes their teeth. Everybody washes their hair. Everybody, well, okay, not everybody, but, you know, a lot of people are using facial products and bath and body products. So show them like how cost effective ours are. Our facial kit, you guys, it's so cost effective. There's people out there spending $500 for these crazy face products that are not even as good as ours and aren't getting the same results. Show them how to get ours. Cleaning, same thing, like I mentioned before. If people are already in the mindset of, oh, I need to, stop using these toxins in my house full, like show them that doTERRA On Guard Cleaner Concentrate for $14.75 and how long that's going to last them and how much cheaper it is than what they're using. Informed self-care, again, I cater this based on what they have going on. If they have headaches, the past tense, Correct-X instead of Biotracin or whatever other products people are using, and then targeted support. I don't go over every single one because it goes over the 20 minutes. So I ask them just kind of what their specific top 3 health concerns are. And then from that, this is where I spend more time talking on. Customize your wellness plan. So here you go. This is so easy. Like anyone can do this because it's right there for you. So make sure you are using these. Informed self-care, more of the informed self-care. And then here you go. Once you went over this, once you know the top 3 health concerns, create your target wellness plan. So here's what you need to do. So people get overwhelmed and they don't know where to start. They're like, okay, I have no idea. I have this kit. How do I use it? What else do I need to get? How do I move from point A to point B? They want to be, healthier. They want to have a healthier lifestyle, but they're overwhelmed. So help them create this plan for themselves that's tangible and easy and something that they can follow. So here are just some suggestions. And if they really are like, okay, not giving you anything, go with this. Just go with these suggested, go with these suggested things right here. Everybody should be putting lemon in their water. That's just like a no-brainer, right? Everybody should be on Lifelong Vitality Pack and cater this again to them based on their individual needs. And if you can't, then just go with this. And then help them figure out a budget and how to go through that from each month. So help them figure out what's a priority in their life. So if sleep is a priority, Serenity and Serenity soft gels and maybe the Copaiba. If it's pain, Copaiba, turmeric, whatever it is, and help them figure out, okay, if I can only spend $100 a month or $200 a month, like let's make a list together of what should be on those LRP on those LRP orders. And then again, I talk about the loyalty rewards and points and all the other things that I mentioned earlier about how to gain, 30% back in free product credits. And I give them tangible examples. Like I tell them like, okay, so I place my 100 PV every month and I get 30 points back in those products. So that's $30 free that I get every month if I just spend my, my 100, which I need for my family and for myself because I'm getting the Lifelong Vitality Pack. I'm getting skincare, hair care, cleaning products, my oils, my On Guard, which I need for, immunity. So make it really just kind of easy for them to see the benefit of that. And then I'm going to switch back to my PowerPoint here. Hold on. Oh, last but not least, don't be afraid to tell them about the business opportunity. So here's where a lot of us get hung up. We're afraid to talk about the business because we don't want to be like, pushing people into the business. And you don't have to think about it like that. You just have to mention it. Just say, if you're interested in getting your oils paid for, especially if they're like super excited and they're like, oh yeah, my Aunt Jane has this and she could really use this and she could really use that. And, say if you want to get your oils paid for, like, here's how you can do that. Just invite a few friends to a make and take or add them to my group or however else. Don't prejudge people. Don't not tell them about the business opportunity because you think they might not be interested because you have no idea. You're not in people's bank accounts. You're not in their personal and emotional and financial and every other kind of life. And you don't know. They might really be interested. Sometimes the people who I thought would be super interested in the business are like, yeah, I want nothing to do with that. And the people who I thought would never in a million years want to do the business are like, I want to do the business. So just tell everybody. Just mention it and share that with them and see what they say. And don't be emotionally attached to their reaction because some people will say no and some people will say yes. Okay, so the biggest thing is creating these happy users, which you do in these follow-ups, because happy users turn into happy sharers because now they can't stop talking about the results that they're having because they are using these products because you did an awesome job of your follow-up. And then they turn into happy builders because they want to help others. So going back, I just want to touch on this real quick, is having like a group or a community or a way to really like feel, to help people feel like they're part of something. Tag them in the Eunice or in the I got my oils now what post. If you don't have that, definitely create that, because it's invaluable, because you don't want, again, this goes back to expecting all these massive results. You don't want to be 5,000 people's person that they come to with their hangnail, their earache, their hair loss, their constipation, their diarrhea, their yeast infections, right? Like you don't want all 5,000 people coming to you with that. You want them to have a place where they can be empowered and get those answers themselves. So you can, if somebody messages you, you can say, oh, let me tag you in a post. We have 1 million posts about that. Hold on. And then go and tag them in testimonials where they're interacting with other people. Tag them or message them in any relevant information. Encourage them to participate and ask questions and not just come to you. Make sure they know how to find out those answers. Talk about that essential life book. The one thing that I see people doing wrong is feeling like they need to be the expert about the oils, about the business, about everything. You don't need to be the expert. You just need to show people how easy it is to get the answers, because it is. If you give somebody an essential life book, they can go through that and be like, oh, okay, here's my solution for my yeast infection or my diarrhea, whatever. But you do want them to have a strong, supportive, safe, and engaged community, whether that's in person, online, or both. So that way they can feel like they can go and interact with other people, have camaraderie, and really just feel like they're living this lifestyle. And they're not alone. They're not alone, right? So if you're, again, buckets versus pipelines, if you're selling retail or enrolling and not following up, you're hauling buckets, you're not building a pipeline, and you're leaving residual income and your dreams on the table. Don't do that. Don't do that. The fortune, the success, all of that is in the follow-up. All right, I'm going to stop sharing. Woohoo, I have 5 minutes left. Yay.
You rocked it. That was so good. So
okay. Good. What questions do you guys have? Because I'm sure you guys have questions.
Go ahead and type them in the chat, guys, or you can unmute.
So how do you get this Google Sheets? Is it something that you download from Google? Because I'm not familiar with that. So how do I access that? Because I do everything on my phone.
Yep. So you can actually, in your phone, just type, hold on. I'm trying to see if it's an app or if it's
It is an app. You can download the Google Sheets app.
Yep.
Basically as part of the Drive. So download Google Drive, and basically that's your folder that you'll store everything in. And then you can download Google Sheets. And there's also Google Docs, which is just like Word, but it's just a free online version. So then it's just saved right in there, and you can just label them as many as you want.
Mm-hmm. Good question. And if if you're like an Excel or WordPad or whatever the system is for you that works, do that. I like the Google Sheets, again, because when I'm home, I like to work on my computer, but when I'm out and about, or if I'm, breastfeeding a baby or something, I'm on my phone.
I really like them too, really, because when I'm searching, like I can just type in my computer search somebody's name and it'll pull up in whatever document that they're in. Because sometimes you'll double up not realizing.
Mm-hmm. What else? Awesome. Everybody's a follow-up expert. Good, good.
You got one in the chat from Denise. Resource for how to slowly shift your spend time to doTERRA.
What do you mean by spend time?
Not sure. Maybe she'll type back into us.
Does everybody feel confident in how to do a lifestyle or wellness consult?
Iris here, and I really like the books. They've got everything in that Live Guide so that you can just read it out of the Live Guide if you have to.
Exactly. I love that. So that way you want to show them how easy it is. That's the thing about being duplicatable in this business too, is you don't want people to think this is super hard and they're going to have to like get a certification or like study this for 5 years before they can do this. You want to show them like, here, I'm going to send you this PDF and we're just going to read right out of it and go along with it. Mm-hmm. And then same thing with the share guide and the build guide. doTERRA gives us these for free. So if now somebody's like, ooh, I want to share, go over this. If they want to build, go over this. So it makes it really duplicatable and easy.
Thanks, JoAnna. You did a great job.
Thank you. Let's see.
She did clarify her question in the chat, JoAnna. Can you see that?
What I mean is there a resource showing how to shift dollars spent on grocery store products over to doTERRA? There are. I've seen a ton of them. Like there's a lot of graphics that are going around that show you exactly like, you know, if you're using allergy medication, here's how much that costs versus using trays. Here's how much trays cost. If you're using natural cleaners, there's a lot of them. So I don't know, Kenzie, if we can maybe post them in Rockstars for people. I can send them to you. You probably have some too.
Yeah, we can post those. So she can see the different ones. Basically, I mean, that's what I look at is, I mean, I think everyone's budget's a little bit different on how they break that down, right? Whether it's your laundry soap or because our laundry soap lasts me twice as long as what I was previously buying, but it's in a smaller bottle. Do you know? So you really have to break it down depending on what they're currently at. But there are a lot of graphics that we can post.
Yeah, so those are great to share with people. And that's, again, one of the benefits of having like that really engaged user group. Like we post those all the time in our user group so that way people see it. And they're like, whoa, I had no idea. Or, you know, sometimes it takes people a while for things to click and they might not be ready in that initial lifestyle overview to start throwing out their, you know, Colgate toothpaste that they've used for 50 years. But after a while, they might be like, oh, this balances the pH in my mouth and it's going to help me with this. Like, okay, like I'm ready to give it a shot. So again, that's part of that benefit of having that engaged kind of community for the follow-up piece. Kenny says, how often do you follow up with each of your new enrollments? It depends on what their like issues are. So if they're having like a chronic issue that they're coming to me about pretty like frequently, like I will follow up with them, not daily, but at least once a week, just to be like, hey, how's this working for you? Do we need to shift anything? Like, how are your results? And I'm all about building those relationships. So I probably follow up with people more than I need to, but I've had great results with that. And that's one of the benefits, I guess, of not being a high enroller, because I don't have 20 new enrollments each month. So if I only enroll 3 to 5 people a month, like I can really follow up with them and really like make sure that I'm taking really good care of them. Not that you can if you enroll a lot, obviously you can, but for me, it just makes it easier with my lifestyle. And then I check in with them at least once a month. I always reach out to people about new specials, whether that's tagging them or texting them or sending them a message. However I communicate with people initially is how I'm going to follow up with them. So if your initial method is through Facebook Messenger, Instagram, or text, or seeing them in person or phone calls, follow up with them that way, however you establish that relationship. But I try to keep in touch at least on a monthly basis. Where can I find the graphics on saving and or shifting for? So we will post those for you, Denise. I thought Jen said she did in 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months.
So Jen was kind of talking more about the kind of the sheet we did when we did the social media challenge. So when she meets someone, she'll touch back with them 2 weeks after she meets them, and then she'll put them on her list to remember in 2 weeks to touch base again, more as a prospecting tool.
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly. And, you know, it's just figuring out what works for your lifestyle as well. And being consistent with it, like Jen says. So if that's like a system that you can follow and that works for you, awesome. But if you could only reach out to somebody once a month, then, you know, at least be doing that.
Yeah. I mean, there's no real like magical formula. Like if I wait 13 days to contact someone versus 21, I mean, really, it just depends on the beauty of this business is we all get to do it so different. And that's what I love about these sizzles is because, you know, here we are meeting with leaders and every week we get such different advice and sometimes it's on the same topic, right? So it's like, wait, what? Like what's interesting in this situation, JoAnna, is you and Jen, like Jen's on your team. She built completely different than you do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it's amazing. I always like to joke with my clients that the only thing that they have in common is a kitchen table and they'll let anyone sit at it. Besides that, it's a free for all, man.
I know. And I love that though, because we can build it into our lifestyle and to works for us. Like Lisa Zimmer's she's my qualifier. She's my blue diamond. And it's like, she's completely different than me. Me and her are like, you know, light years apart. She's all into organization and tools and systems. And I'm just like, I'm just going to talk to people and like, like I'm trying to be more organized with those systems and stuff, but I'm not like into it as much as she is, but it works for me and what she does works for her and what Jen does works for her. So you got to find your authentic way to build this that works for you. You can't just be somebody else. Right? Because you don't have their network, you don't have their lifestyle, you don't have their situation. So take tidbits away from everybody and figure out what feels good and what feels right and how you can make it your own.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's truth. A lot of times we spend a lot of time looking for the system, right? The system that's going to get us there when really like you're it, you know, you are the system. You choose how you're going to rock it.
Exactly.
And it's simple. Very, very true. JoAnna, thank you so much. This was amazing. This recording is going to be replayed time and time again because it was packed. Like I got a sneak peek of the PowerPoint, but the information that you shared along with the PowerPoint is tenfold what I thought was coming tonight. This was amazing.
Yay. Awesome. I'm so glad that that you found it helpful.
Yeah, I'm stoked. We're going to use this, I think, all year long. I'm going to stop the recording